Congratulations on the film.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'd heard the name Alan Turing. I was familiar with the Enigma machine and his work, but why don't I know more about him?
It's a good question, and I hope it's one that this film might write. You know, I think it's one of the great ironies that someone who matters so much to us, who basically was the father of the computer age, is relatively obscure in the public consciousness. You know, I think it started to turn a little bit. You know, not that celebrity is an accurate measure of significance, but I think once Obama listed him along with Isaac Newton and Darwin as three of the most important scientists, British scientists, and the apology that Gordon Brown gave in 2007, at a rough guess, I can't remember exactly when it was, and the recent pardoning from the Queen, both of which sort of had to happen, and it's good that they happened, but at the same time, the only pardoning should be from Alan Turing for the appalling treatment that was meted out to him by government and democracy that he saved in the Second World War. So, you know, he was a war hero, but doing very secretive work. He was a homosexual man prosecuted in an era of appalling McCarthyist levels of paranoia, and I think that's a very dark stain on our culture. So I think even his suffering was something that people wanted to conveniently forget about. But he's held as a gay icon as well as the father of computing and a war hero for his work. So to be able to sew his story together and see who he was behind all these achievements, you know, I don't know if it's an achievement to be persecuted for his sexuality, but it's a tragic reality of his life, is really important. So this film, hopefully through entertainment and education and moving and amusing and really inspiring people, will get that story out there.
It must have been such an odd life to lead with so many secrets, both personal and professional.
I mean, you know, there's such a thing as a stiff upper lip, and you know, the English are notoriously good for it. Were notoriously good for it. I don't know if any of us are any good at it now in this world of constant self-publication, but I think then it was a real badge of honour, and there were countless men and women who did extraordinary work under really hard circumstances, who were basically quiet, you know, unconventional heroes in the middle of a very blatant war with a lot of returning soldiers and combat men and women who were seeing things on the front line, but these people behind the scenes were doing extraordinary work, and they could never talk about their war. Literally, that was the line. They worked in a radio factory.
Yeah.
They were basically
Which sounds a bit almost like a punchline to a joke or something, you know?
Kind of, yeah. In retrospect, very much so. Yeah.
This character to me seems like I can draw kind of a straight line, you know, the sort of tormented genius kind of characters that you seem to be drawn to in some ways. And maybe I'm pulling this out of the air, but I think of Julian Assange, I think of Sherlock, I think of this character, and I see a line, a sort of a linear path. Do you see that, or is it just...
No, they're just smart people. They're utterly different characters. You know, Sherlock's sociopathic. Alan is not a showman with his intelligence. He's quiet, like I said, and humble. No, very, very, very different human beings.
Right.
You know? Julian incredibly complex, but not Alan Turing. You know, and the comparison's a little easy to make. They're just smart guys who are seen as being unconventional for whatever reason, that's slightly different from what people expect, the norm, whatever that standard of status quo is. But apart from that, no. I'm drawn to people like that because I think they are the true sort of game changers. You know, I really do. I believe that. And they're the ones that, the more we understand about how to celebrate people who are supposedly different, the more we can accommodate that into a society and embrace the power that these people have and the ability that these people have to change our worldview and shape our destinies in the shape of, you know, Julian and Alan in particular, obviously, because Sherlock's a fictitious consulting detective, lovely though he is. So yeah, and also I play very stupid people and comic foils and villains and all sorts of people who aren't smart, from Patrick Watts to Smaug to you know, lovely little Charles in August Osage and Ford in 12 Years a Slave, and that, you know, yeah, I think it's a very easy thing to say. It's rather like saying that Michael Fassbender's cornered the market in sexual predatory roles. He's also done great comedic turns, fantastic villains, and empathizable heroes, as well as, you know, generic films and romantic comedies. You know, so people like to draw a simplistic narrative, but I don't hold to it.
Yeah, no, I think certainly in media we just have a look and we go, I see a line.
Yeah, it's laziness, but that's all right. You're forgiven. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.